Well, not everybody will agree that Japan's economy really is in a recovery mode. And what about China, which many feel is in more of a dire strait? What does this mean for the United States, which is well along in its recovery? Let's talk with Chris Martenson. He's the man behind peakprosperity.com. Why don't you size up Japan, first of all? They call it a recovery.
Yes, and Bill, I'll call it a speculator's market right now. We had the Japanese central bank over there running their famous 222 program. They're going to double money. It created a lot of hot inflows, and the Nikkei went up 70% even as the yen plummeted. We saw pair trading speculators just dive all over that, and they're looking for something that I don't see in the data yet, which is strong recovery.
All right, Chris, what do I need to know if I'm an overseas investor as to what's going on in China right now?
Well, China, by official statistics, is weakening, and we all know that the official statistics are overstated. China's power consumption tells the story. We look at electricity generation. It's much weaker than headline economic growth. I tend to trust the power numbers. So it's weakening, and they've just declared war on the shadow banking system over there, and we'll see how that turns out.
Don't you think things look very bubble-like in parts of China's economy?
Goodness, the real estate bubble is the largest of any that I've ever studied. We got very concerned at Peak Prosperity when the U.S. property bubble approached price-to-income ratios of, maybe 7, 8, 9 if it got really extreme. In many cities in China, it's over 20.
Well, you talked about the central bank cracking down on the shadow banking. Will that make a marked difference?
Well, it absolutely will. Shadow banking is a very large component of their overall banking system, just as it had been in other parts of the world. They're going to have to contain it. By definition, it's hard to get your arms around. It's hard to really contain. So they're going to have to take some harsh measures. They have, and it's already created some liquidity conditions over there. We saw overnight rates spike as high as 25% for the interbank lending. It was very uncertain there for a while.
And Chris, your sense as to what the impact of all this might be in Asia with the U.S. economy and its recovery?
Well, we had a very mysterious rise in interest rates that started, let's call it early June in the U.S., about May across the rest of the world. So we were seeing a lot of selling of treasuries and other long-dated interest rate products from around the world. Maybe China was not buying as aggressively in that sphere. That's one possible spillover. But if we see interest rates continue to rise across the world, that's going to create all kinds of difficulties for our key asset markets, not just the bond markets, but equities and real estate as well.
Chris Martenson from peakprosperity.com. Thanks so much.
Welcome.